Have you guys ever wondered what incendiary rounds out of a 50 BMG look like when they hit a piece of steel in thermal? All right, so we're gonna get some thermal shots here with the Barrett M107. Get this little video off to the proper start. Here we go. Let's torch her up here. All right, guys, that was pretty dang wicked. Let's get things going here. Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here with Moss Pawn & Gun. Today, we're doing a video that you guys might find a little bit out of place for what we normally do on the channel here. We're going to be doing a couple of optic reviews and talking about some really nice thermal optics from Armasight. We've got the Zeus and the Zeus Pro. Guys, these things are great. You can get a DVR for them that allows you to record everything that's going on that you're seeing through the reticle. The Pro and the standard Zeus also have a myriad of different reticles to choose from, which is pretty cool. This particular thermal, both of them are set up as rifle optics. So you got your standard mount. They just snap right into place on a standard pick rail, and bam, you got you a thermal weapon sight. Thermals have never been more affordable than they are now. The technology is getting to the point where you get a lot of good quality, high quality, but at a very reasonable price point. Now these optics, will generally going to cost anywhere from the high 7s to the low 9s. So they are a little bit on the pricey side. And you're probably asking yourself, well, why would I want a thermal optic? Well, the purpose of this video is we want to kind of show them off, have a little fun with them, show you guys what they're about. And from a standpoint of use with thermals, they have a lot more uses than people commonly think. I mean, how does thermal technology work?
Well, thermal technology actually, it picks up infrared rays, which is basically heat. So if you guys have ever seen Predator, the Predator's helmet, his visor actually has an infrared mode where he can see heat signatures in the jungle, but they work day or nighttime, unlike like a PVS-14, like a night vision device that are only sensitive at night. If you get a PVS-14 in direct sunlight, you're going to ruin the unit. Thermals, it doesn't matter. You're going to see the same thing day or night. It's not going to affect the unit. But the thermals are actually kind of a unique type of optic because of the materials that go into it, and that's one of the reasons that they are so expensive. Some of the lower end models in the Zeus line with slower refresh rates, maybe a smaller screen resolution, less detailed screen resolution, they're going to run anywhere between about $3,000 and $5,000 between like the Zeus and the Zeus Pros, on up to the high 8s and 9s. Now, these are not for the faint of heart. It's just like buying any other quality optic, but thermals work by taking those infrared rays and converting them into a digital image. And the way these optics do that is they use a special type of lens called germanium. And the germanium actually is a material that allows infrared rays to pass through. If you tried to use this thermal optic through, say, your house and look out your window, you're not going to see anything but a gray haze or whatever color haze you've got the optic set up to, because it's just not going to pass through that regular glass. So the germanium adds a lot of cost to the unit, and the size of the lens actually matters in the cost as well. You have everything on both of these units from about a 30mm lens all the way up to a 100mm lens. The one that's on Eric, I believe, is a 50. This one here is a 75mm lens, and these optics can sense infrared signatures up to 1,000 yards away, which is pretty dang impressive. The rays come through the germanium, they go into a FLIR Tau2 sensor, and that's the actual infrared sensor that converts those light rays into a digital image after it goes to the processor and puts it onto the screen. So this is a digital scope. It's not like you're just looking through a regular optic.
Yeah, well, basically when you look through this optic, you're seeing a digital representation of what this optic is processing and seeing. It's basically playing it back on a little mini TV, and you're basically looking at what it is processing and interpreting for you, for the human eye. So it's taking what you can't see and turning it into something you can see. Like Chad said, these things will pick up heat signatures out to 1,000 yards. So quickly, thermals, here's some uses that I've come up with. Search and rescue, okay? You're in a helicopter, you're looking around, you're trying to find a stranded motorist or a stranded, you know, hiker or something like that, bam, thermal down, there they are. They can't hide from a thermal. You can't hide heat.
Usually, I mean, military and law enforcement applications, you know, they use thermals quite often. You know, thermal imaging, night vision,
Sure.
And whatnot.
Combat use.
Combat use. I mean,
Right.
those are common things. But in the civilian realm, a lot of professional hunters and such, or say you're a guide out in Texas or whatever, and you've got a huge ranch and you've got a hog problem. Well, you might want a thermal so you can take it out there at night, and you can seek those hogs out in their natural environment.
Sure.
And they won't really know that you're around. And both of these optics are variable power. So they're more of like a digital zoom, but this is a 3 to 24 power. The Zeus Pro here is a 2 to 16 power. So you can really get out there and you can differentiate, you know, your subject from the background, and you can get a pretty good idea of what you're actually aiming at. You can tell a hog, you can tell a deer, you can tell
Sure.
a rabbit. You know, and Eric's done a lot of, you know, recording at night at his place, and he's, you know, filmed all sorts of little critters like rabbits and deer out there. And
A fox, yeah.
Cool.
So this little rig right here, real quickly, this is a, you know, just a standard Ruger 1022 and an ATI AR-22 chassis. This is my little critter popper, and then Chad's got his AR here set up, you know, no frills, real basic.
Well, some of the neat features between the Zeus and the Zeus Pro, like Eric mentioned, the DVR. You've got a DVR that you can hook up there, and you can record everything that the thermal sees. You also have like an extended battery pack with 2 very large lithium-ion rechargeable batteries that give you extended run time, and that can power, you know, the thermal for a good long time.
Sure.
And then you also have a small remote on and off switch that you can mount anywhere on your gun, such on the front of my rail here, my AR-15. You can put the unit in standby mode, and it won't drain the battery as much. And then when you're ready to actually look through the optic, and maybe say you're out hunting and you hear something, you can push the button, it'll turn the unit back on, and then you can put it back in standby by pushing the button again, so you save your battery.
We're going to get after some meat and potatoes and show you the simplicity of the menu. That's one thing we didn't really talk about. The menus on both of these are laid out incredibly simple. They're very easy to use. Guys, if I can use it, anybody can. And also, before we get started, a couple of more uses, kind of to go back to Chad's you know, thing he was talking about. Okay, if you're a guide out in Texas or something, another use that a thermal could have, let's say the client has shot the animal of a lifetime, and for whatever reason he didn't go down and you can't find him. Well, guess what? You got the ultimate tracking dog right here. You can look around, you can see the blood on the ground as long as it's still warm. You know, your kill will stay warm for a long time after it's been shot. So if it's laying somewhere in a field or out in the woods, guess what? Grab your thermal and you can find your game. So that it's great for tracking as well. And not only that, but say military, law enforcement, say that law enforcement is not really concerned about combat so much, but say they just want to do surveillance. All right, they want to look at potential suspects, or let's say that they're on a manhunt. And they, you know, they gotta be like Predator and find, you know, some guy out in the woods or something. This is a great way to reduce collateral damage between you and your unit, and to keep your people safe. You can assess a threat safely from a distance and know if they're even a threat at all. You know, if it's just some, you know, crackhead hanging out or whatever, you know.
Not only military and law enforcement applications or other civilian applications, but, you know, these optics are available to the general public.
Sure.
And, you know, this is a life and liberty optic.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, if you're really serious about life and liberty, and you're like a big time prepper or whatever, or like maybe a survivalist, you know, something like this is probably a pretty good option to have in your arsenal, you know.
They can't hide. Nothing can hide from a thermal. So
good equalizer. Yeah,
it is an equalizer. That's an excellent way to put it. So I think we're gonna break off here, have a little fun, do some shooting for you guys. We've been doing a lot with these things, and I tell you, putting together this video has been, I will admit, it's been a little bit of a chore, because getting all the B-roll footage and just, you know, really learning about the optic is what is the most difficult thing for us to kind of portray here for you guys. So we're going to shoot the things a little bit, have a little fun, and hopefully show you guys some interesting heat signatures that these things will pick up. All right, guys, we're going to have a little bit of fun here with the ATI AR-22 chassis. It's got a Ruger 1022 mounted in it, our Armasight Zeus Pro on top. I chose to have my reticle just a single dot. For a 22, I like a red dot, so I wanted just a single small dot in the middle. I'm going to do a little bit of plinking for you. We're going to go ahead and hit record on our DVR here. Now Chad is going to go through some of the menu options, okay? First, we're going to go through the color gradients, and hopefully you can see from his shot how easy it is to actually select different menu options. And I'm going to do a little plinking while he's doing all the work. So here we go. All right, so in my reticle, we can see that it's recording as indicated in the lower left-hand corner. Chad is going to go through some color profiles. While he's doing that, I'm going to discuss kind of what I'm seeing. Notice on the right, this plate right here is out in the sun, okay, the one that I'm drawing the circle around. It's collecting a lot more heat. The plates that are under the plate rack, notice how much cooler they are in relation to the plates around them. So I'm going to just take some shots with some Piney Mountain tracers here, and let's see if we can take a few of them. All right, guys, we're going to proceed. I'm going to let Chad take over and do some explanation on what he's going through in his menu settings. I've topped my magazine off with some subsonic, so hopefully I won't be making too much noise while Chad's talking. But I'm going to keep shooting, though, because this is fun.
All right, guys, like Eric mentioned, I'm going to go through some of the color profiles here. The way you control the unit is actually on top here. You have basically like a D-pad and a few buttons, and each one has two functions. You can either just press for one function, or you can hold it for the second function. And then the center button gets you to the menu. But we're gonna go through the color profiles real quick. This one here is a white hot, so everything that's hot will show up white. And you see between this and black hot, there's really not a whole lot of contrast between what's going on with Eric there and the background. But when you get into some of the other color profiles, you can see a lot more distinction in his body, his arms, and whatnot, and the gun. A little bit more detail there. So it really just depends on the environment that you're in. So we got a rainbow setting. This is kind of what we feel is like the Predator mode, which is kind of cool. So you got a lot of different color variants there. And then Globo right here. Iron bow. See
hopefully you guys can tell how dang hot it is out here too. I'm sweating my butt off here.
It's about 100 degrees.
Yeah, it's 100 degrees.
But what's neat, like on this setting here and some of the other ones, you can see the DVR. See how hot the DVR is there on Eric's rifle on the Zeus Pro there, on the top of his hat there.
See the sweat on my arms?
I can see all the sweat on your shirt.
Yeah, it's hot out here, guys. Yeah, see? Better? Can you see anything? You see the heat signature coming off the hat at all?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I'm going through a couple of the reticles too.
Oh yeah.
So you've got different reticles on the Zeus and the Zeus Pro. The dot is usually what I like to run. And you can also change the color as well. So we've got a few other color profiles. Iron bow too, as you can see there. Sepia. This one is one of my favorites because it gives you the most contrast.
Oh yeah. Pretty cool stuff there.
Color 1. Color 2. Ice and fire, which is pretty cool. And we got rain. And then this is a custom that you can change a lot of the parameters and get it to look exactly like you want. And then we're just back to white hot.
All right, guys, so earlier yesterday we were doing a little bit of B-roll. We had some thermite from Wolf Hill, and that stuff was just creating some awesome temperature flares that really allowed us to see the amount of heat this thing will pick up. All right, we also had some dry ice. I took an isopropyl alcohol bath, cooled it down really cold, and we got some footage of that I thought was pretty cool. But what we're gonna do, we've got our road flares and our spray paint cans. We're gonna see if we can make some nice fireballs and catch them on the thermal. I did change the reticle on this to show you the mil dot. Chad is recording in fire and ice. I'm recording in black hot. Let's have some fun here. CCI subsonics. That was great.
That looked awesome.
That's pretty cool, but I'll tell you what, let's move on to a few other little things too. That wasn't bad.
Okay guys, we just want to show you accessing the menu real quick. If you push the center button and hold it, you'll get into the main menu, and you've got your selectable color palettes, your selectable reticles, all through the menu, as well as the D-pad up top just for quick adjustment. But you get into the Boresight menu here, press the center button, and you can adjust your windage and elevation in order to zero your rifle to the optic. So you just use the up and down arrows for elevation, of course, and then you use your left and right for windage. Very simple process. Take a few shots, move the reticle around until you get where you want to go, and simply hit the center button to exit, and then that's it. You've got other settings down here, rifle profiles. All of this is available in the manual. You've got standard video output, NTSC or PAL, depending on where you are in the world, temperature units, and then you can adjust the screen. You can adjust the left and the top margin of the screen itself so it fits your eye better, you know, the way you lay your head on the rifle, or you can reset the unit to factory defaults.
All right, guys, we really don't feel like any thermal video would be complete without some dragon's breath, okay? This is from Wolf Hill. All right, we're gonna run some out of our little Remington here. It's a Remington 870 Marine Magnum. I'm gonna go for some speed here, see how quick we can dump a whole mag of dragon's breath. And we're recording with a thermal. Let's run it. Oh yeah, pretty cool. Well, we got some multiple fires burning out in the field, so let's grab some soda bottles and we're gonna go put them out. Love it. Well guys, no pun intended, but it's been a hot, sweaty, 100-degree day out here. We hope you enjoyed today's video. We had a lot of fun making it, although I will admit, this video was a bear to put together.
It certainly has been. All the B-roll and everything, and just, you know, a few minor issues with some of our other equipment, you know, ammo and guns not working like they're supposed to. When we turn the cameras on, it seems like we always have some kind of issue.
It happens. But guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. You learned something about these optics. Yes, they're expensive. Yes, they're high quality. I just really like putting those kind of things out there because in my mind, the most important thing I want people to take away from this video is that thermals level the playing field. It gives everyone a fair advantage over each other. And you guys know what I'm talking about. It's nice to know when the bad guy's coming and getting near you. And if he's got the same technology as you, you got the same technology as him. I mean, really, thermals represent the most advanced technology that you can put on a firearm, on a small arm for individual use. And guys, it really levels the playing field in a combat situation or in a police situation where you're dealing, if you're a policeman who's trying to, you know, defend yourself or look at a perp, find somebody, you know, keep your people safe. Really, it's just an all-around good idea, no matter if you're a hunter, even a fireman could find, you know, good use in a thermal. That's something we didn't talk about earlier, but a fireman could figure out where hot spots are in a fire or where there might be potentially a place where the fire hasn't reached yet or something. I mean, being able to tell a heat signature can just do so many things, guys. So we hope you really took that away from this video.
Now, speaking of hot, you know, I ran the MSAR just a little bit earlier just to kind of, you know, show the wide variety of weapons that the thermal can be used on. And the bullpup is kind of an ideal platform, like the Tabor and MSAR, pretty much anything. Nice compact package, and the optic isn't terribly heavy, so it balances real well.
Yeah.
And it's just, they're just great pieces of hardware, and that's the bottom line. And hopefully in the thermal image you can see how hot the rifle is and see how hot we are and sweaty we are and everything else. I mean, it really picks up all those little minute details, but it's been a fun day.
Absolutely, it has been, guys. If there's something you want to see specific, let us know. What would you film with a thermal? If you had the ability to film the kind of stuff we, you know, filmed today for you, if you could film with a thermal, what would you film? And if you submit some cool ideas, we'll try it. Like, I don't know, a lawnmower blowing up or a car blowing up or something cool. Let me know and we'll try to accommodate it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I know this video, you know, kind of had some technical stuff in it, but we tried to make it fun. Thanks for watching. We appreciate the support. We'll catch you next time.
Take it easy, guys.